Hey everybody, I'm SimmingInOz, and in this series we're going to be converting the empty world of Magnolia Promenade from The Sims 4 into a sprawling underwater world of Bikini Bottom with all of our favourite characters and locations. Let's dive in. Alrighty now you might be wondering, how do you make a little world of Bikini Bottom in The Sims 4? Well, first you sort of just have to choose the smallest world available to you, because the bigger you go, the harder it is to world build. So thank goodness Magnolia Promenade is the smallest lot in all of Sims 4, and that's truly why I was able to honestly get this whole world and all the lots built over the space of about 2 to 3 days, which was a mammoth effort, but I was having so much fun with it. So to start us off, what we did was we went in and I basically combed through the live edit object menu, and I picked out every single item I could that sort of resembled anything corally, anything underwater themed, and we just basically went for it. You can see I've placed down a saved lot that I made up of just all the little items that I wanted to use around the world, and I do make a series of these little lots, and they just hold everything that you could possibly need to make up Bikini Bottom. And typically what I like to do with a lot of my world building is, before I get to any of the decorating, what I'll do is I'll start by actually creating a very big wall surrounding the world. So as you can see, if you zoom right out and you can take a peek at the outside of this world, there's a very big stone wall separating Bikini Bottom from the rest of the world, just on the outside. This isn't due because there's a lot of buildings that are already within the world of Magnolia Promenade. They're meant to sort of, make the world feel alive. That would be great if we were actually going for a city setting, but we're not. We're going for something very underwater and organic. So we needed to cut all those buildings out of sight. So we're placing down these very tall rock-like structures to create a very big underwater valley. And it's this lovely it's very specific coloured stone. You want it to be sort of light coloured. Everything about this neighbourhood has to be bright and colourful, and nothing can look very cold. So we're going in with the bright colours, we're going in with the coral, and we're using our tool mod by Twisted Mexi to resize, reshape, and twist things around, and just absolutely splattering them all over the place. I believe when I went in with this part, I was aiming to cover up as much of the road, the structures, and the grass, the trees, the bushes as I possibly could. If it was water-based, that's fine, it can stay, but if it was organic trees and beautiful vistas and that kind of thing, and shops that make up the outside world, no, we didn't want them. So here's me just going in with an absolute massive amount of coral, a massive amount of stone, and just trying to cover absolutely everything up, but also still using the organic layout of Magnolia Promenade as it is. So I do keep a lot of the roads and the structure, and even like the community gardens and everything. So this little outcropping with this circular area, which I thought was very lovely, and is actually the basis for my glove world build. Now, typically we do want to go in and build as much of Bikini Bottom as we possibly can, but there's obviously a few drawbacks to Magnolia Promenade. It's amazing, it's lovely, the lighting's very nice, and it's a nice small world, so you can do quite a lot with it and fill it to the brim to make it feel very lived in. However, it's only got 4 actual build lots that you can actually build on. And that makes it quite difficult, because you have to sort of pick and choose, okay, what locations from Bikini Bottom and the world of SpongeBob do we actually want to put into this world? And I narrowed it down. I'd already done the Krusty Krab, which was amazing. I'd done it like a year ago, and I was able to just pluck that out of my library, place it down, and go, okay, so here's our starting structure. And then we popped in the wall, we popped in the coral, and we're just sort of making it feel alive. Now, a few things that didn't make the cut were just places and locations I didn't feel were vital enough to justify having livable interiors, so to speak. So for example, the chum bucket, which is canonically opposite the Krusty Krab, as you can see. It didn't end up... I do actually place down the chum bucket, but it's not a playable lot. It's very much built very custom and just placed down. You cannot enter the chum bucket. You cannot go and eat at the chum bucket. You wouldn't want to anyway, but you can see that the chum bucket is in the world, and that's good enough for me, I suppose. I do end up placing it to the left, so if you're facing the Krusty Krab, it's off to the left instead of opposite. I didn't really want to put it canonically opposite the Krusty Krab, but it does still make sense that it would be next door, and that's quite nice. Now, if you're wondering what I'm doing now, we've built up the basic outline of the world, and we're just adding the smaller details in. We're adding in a lot of color, and then we're adding in the effect of trying to make it look like it's actually underwater. Easy, right? No, it's not. So what I ended up doing was, I love when I'm doing world building, I love moving parts. I love anything within the Sims 4 object menu that actually moves or functions in any way. So fans that twist and, spin and everything. And, for example, the special effects thing that does rain, does smoke, does glitter and everything. And very specifically for our Bikini Bottom world, it's the vent that you put down at the bottom of lakes and pools and it actually bursts out bubbles. I took that and I put down about 50 of them, and then I scattered them throughout the world. Unfortunately, I couldn't size them up to make them look like very big bubbles. However, if you're just playing in the world and you look at the outside scenery and everything, you'll notice that every now and then bubbles are just coming up from the coral as if the world is underwater, and it's a small thing, but it does make the world feel a lot more alive. Now what we're doing here is we're basically just, again, using the natural world that we've already gotten and just filling it with objects, trying to make it as underwater themed as we possibly could. And that includes, covering up our power poles, and I sort of squinted sideways at all the lampposts and I thought, am I going to keep all of you? And I do end up doing so because they're not that intrusive, but it was a near miss kind of thing. And now what we're doing right now is we're building on our community. Obviously in this one we're just world building. We're not really going into making, SpongeBob's house or the Sandy's tree dome or anything like that. We're just doing the surrounding world because I find that if you've got a sort of foundation already down, you're a lot more inspired to continue with the builds in that world. So doing the scenery and doing the actual building of Bikini Bottom is a big step, and it's a wonderful first step. So what we're doing is we're using this very natural sort of in-game community area where it's got some tables and chairs and everything, and we're putting down a lot of our ocean themed, a lot of our island living huts and community eateries, and some toilets and some vending machines, and I believe there's like a little sundries kind of buy your beach equipment kind of thing in there somewhere, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and some photo booths and everything. Anything that looks beach themed or summer themed, we're putting it in just to sort of build up the world. Now the thing that I love is I was able to pretty much build up a lot of locations that just were in the show, but I wasn't going to build them as an official lot sort of thing. So if you want these all these locations, you do actually have to download the actual save file. That way you can have access to all the world building I'm doing in this video. So say for example, I'm doing the chum bucket right now. As I promised, we have a big bucket. It's just a bucket, and we're putting it on the playground next to the Krusty Krab. Now, it is a playground, and what you can do is you can sort of work around. There is a playground in there, which is fine. You can still use the playground. Or what I like to do every time I'm in there is I like to just use the tool mod to scale down the playground to 0.01 size. So it basically disappears anyway if you don't want to see it, but it's completely up to you. And we're getting just some doors, and they're very fake, but they're very canonical and everything. And I love the boxing glove up the top, and how in the end it actually really does sort of look like the chum bucket, which is darling. And we're just using our red signage and everything, and it lights up, which I thought was really cool, because then Bikini Bottom has a little bit more of a nightlife kind of thing, and we'll get to Bikini Bottom's nightlife because there's something really exciting in that. But for the chum bucket, it's just, I wanted it to feel, it's this big concrete square. It's a bucket, it's doors, it's the signs. I put down some metalwork tables and chairs, and that's really it. It doesn't look inviting. There's no greenery apart from the stuff that's already naturally there, and basically it just doesn't look very welcoming. In comparison to the Krusty Krab that's next door, Krusty Krab has its wood tones, it has its sea-themed floaties and everything like that, and it has some boats as cars outside to make it look, this is a popular place and everything. And it's a big comparison to the Chum Bucket, which is next door, which I thought was really, really important to get right. Now, what we're doing right now is we are actually putting down our tables and chairs, and again, covering up all of our green areas and trying to really lean out of the organic greenery that was the promenade, and just making it look a lot more sandy. Now, the biggest key thing I did was I took the sand pile that I do believe you get with the island living. You can actually dig at these sand piles, and I sized them up immensely, and they look really detailed and they're kind of a fun texture, and I was able to size them up and just scatter them absolutely everywhere. I chucked them down anywhere I could, just because they were a great thing to cover up greenery. And you know what, at the end of the day, it's sand, so it's not like it's out of place looking. If this is going to be Bikini Bottom, it needs to be sandy, and all the lots are built on the sand texture, so they're doing their job and everything, and the rest is just concrete, and it's sand, and it's the lake up the top, and it's the river down below where the Goo Lagoon is. So we're just cutting out as much greenery as we possibly can. And God bless this sand pile. It really saved my bacon. I do go a little crazy with it towards the end of the world building. I just scatter it absolutely everywhere, all over the roads, not covering it, but just sort of artfully, edging on the edge of things, and sort of, it's always in your periphery. So there's a lot of sand in this world building. I did think of putting down like some kind of lava volcano kind of thing, but that wasn't really working out. What I wouldn't give to have some kind of lava effect. Just one day they'll give it to us. Now, what we're moving on to right now is a very special part of the Bikini Bottom, because this is what started it all, because you don't just go and decide to do Bikini Bottom and all of the characters and all of the builds. Adventure Awaits released, and with it they gave us a jellyfish lamp, and that's so weird. Like, where did they get a jellyfish lamp from? But it was absolutely perfect, because I looked at it and my brain just went it just sort of went, we gotta make Bikini Bottom now, because there is no sign better, no sign more obvious than a jellyfish lamp. It's like, oh my god, if there was one thing holding me back from making Bikini Bottom, is that we didn't have jellyfish, but now we have jellyfish, so now I really do actually have to do this. So I was impassioned. I was obsessed for like a whole weekend. I couldn't talk about anything else. I left work early and just went home and worked on Bikini Bottom. I was not responsible. Anywho, we did it, and I was loving it. So this is Jellyfish Fields. It has the promenade has a very convenient, lovely park right next to all the 4 lots that you get within the world. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. We'll keep it as a park. And you know what? We can't do anything about the trees. I would love to take the trees away or size them down or something, but they never stay that way. So we just have to live with the trees. But it's a park anyway, so whatever. But what we're doing now is we're putting in a lot of stones and coral. And then we are, thankfully, the green grass of the park is actually canonical, because in Jellyfish Fields, it's all just green anyway, for whatever reason. And then it's just a matter of putting in a lot of jellyfish. And it was really, really fun, because you scatter them around and everything. And it was very important that you don't just do one standard jellyfish. You got to size them up, you got to size them down, and then eventually you've got to elevate some of them so it looks like some of them are swimming further up into the sea than the other jellyfish. And the best part is that they're lamps. So at nighttime, I was talking about the nightlife of Bikini Bottom before. At nighttime, the jellyfish lamps actually light up, and the jellyfish fields look phenomenal, because, oh my god, it's just a bunch of jellyfish, and they're pink glowing and everything, and they're beautiful. Now, what's fun about the jellyfish fields is that naturally the game also installs a roller rink with the seasons, and it's so cute. And I also I put in like some starfish greenery and, you know, just break up the green of the jellyfish fields a little bit. And I also put down a picnic blanket with a little picnic basket, and I put down some little canisters of bubbles, because if SpongeBob and Patrick are gonna go and blow bubbles anywhere, they're gonna go to jellyfish fields and blow bubbles. It's so beautiful. And I like to imagine that Mrs. Puff, who I'm actually in control of as I do all the world building, there she is on the screen, hello. Mrs. Puff and Eugene Krabs, in my mind, are in a sort of on again, off again, low-key romantic relationship. They do go on a date within the show, so that's what I'm building it off of. And I like the idea that they'll go for a romantic picnic within jellyfish fields and everything, and it's so cute and gorgeous. And I love that idea, and it just makes the world feel really lived in. And it's so canonically SpongeBob, isn't it? Like, you can look at a jellyfish field and you go, oh yeah, that's SpongeBob. It literally could not be anything else. So we're coming to the end of that now. Now, it's very important that in the very middle of the jellyfish fields is a very, very, very big jellyfish. Is it the king jellyfish? I know there's a king jellyfish, and it's the biggest jellyfish of all, so I did put in one of those. It's in the middle of the fields. I raised it as high as, well, pretty high. I didn't have a crown per se to put on the king jellyfish, but I did put down, oh, I can't think. It's like that thinking cap. It's gold. You put it on and it helps you build your skills or something or whatever. I don't use it all that much. I think it's a bit, you know, there are other ways to, you know, cheat and, you know, give your sim the edge than that hideous cap that they wear. So anyway, I do put the gold cap on the jellyfish, king jellyfish, and I thought it was so cute. I was like, yes, this is the king jellyfish. And it's absolutely lovely, and I'm very, very proud. And also, it's a good place for Sandy and SpongeBob to go and practice their karate. I like to think that the karate substitute is just boxing within the world, which is also really, really, really fun. And here's me just doing some bubbles and everything, and oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I love it so much. Anyway, we do have Goo Lagoon within the world building as well. It's not as official as I'd like to be. It's not as immediately recognizable as, say, the Chum Bucket or the Jellyfish Fields, but I do put down the Goo Lagoon, and I also put down Glove World. Now, look, hear me out. I wanted to put down something because it felt like this area up the top here with the tables and chairs and all the businesses and everything, and you can go to these businesses and actually get food and stuff. It's very, like it just needed something, and it was in such a good place, and it was just the perfect way to actually just incorporate something a little bit more official, something fun, something to do within the world. Like, you can obviously visit any of the lots or anything, but wouldn't it be absolutely lovely to include Glove World within this? Because it's just something extra that you can put in. Now, when I say Glove World, I don't actually mean Glove World, because you can't do Glove World. So I've look, in my headcanon, we've substituted Glove World for Balloon World. And it's really just the same thing, right? So just bear with me on that one, okay? Because I was trying my hardest. I just really wanted to do something. So we do have Glove World, and it's really fun. And I did test it out. I've play tested it. You can ride the Ferris wheel. You can go and get an ice cream and some food, and you go to the bathroom and everything. It's all very functional. It's lovely. I love also the balloon that I put in the air. It's like one of those, you go up in those like romantic balloon rides. Obviously it's not functional, but it always reminds me of the balloon ride from The Sims 2 with Bella and Don Lothario on the balloon thing. Oh no, hang on, wait, is it The Sims 3? No, I'm thinking about the Sims 3. Oh god, I'm crossing fandoms. So it always reminds me of that, which is so fun. I'm just adding our last little balloons to Glove World, and then we can move on to something else. But I do really, really, really love how absolutely random this area turned out. Now in this bit, we're popping down some furniture for our Goo Lagoon. Now, obviously, I couldn't really make it. But you know what, I was able to put down some objects to at least simulate a beach setting. So it's on the pier, there's no actual beach, because that's all beach at the end of the day. And it's just some towels for people to sunbake on, some umbrellas, some coolers, and some beach towels and everything. It's really cute. Now this is a really fun thing. I wanted to add in Plankton and Karen, because obviously with the chum bucket being not a buildable world or a lot, I couldn't actually make Karen and Plankton because they're so out there. It's a TV and a thumb-sized Plankton. So what am I gonna do? So I ended up I took the old TV and I put it on top of the medical stand that you get from Get to Work, I believe. And then using a kid's toy that was green, I made Plankton, which was like, oh my god. But you know what, I do feel a little bit bad that you can't play as Plankton, but you know what, I did make basically everybody else, so, you know, decisions, I only had so much room. And now, at the very end of it, we're just filling out a little bit more of the map. I do place down Sandy's rocket in this area, which I thought was really fun, so you can go and explore the space in Sandy's rocket, which I thought is so cute. And then it's just popping down some last little bits of scenery. But thank you so much for coming along to our build of Bikini Bottom. I do go off camera in a little bit and actually put in just a little bit more stuff. So in the final product, it is a lot more lived in, but it is basically par and parcel for what I've already done. But thank you so much for coming along and letting me explain my process of building Bikini Bottom. It's just the start of a series of SpongeBob videos that we're going to be doing. The next one is Mrs. Puff's boating school. And then it's going to be Sandy's tree dome. It's going to be Mr. Krabs' anchor home with Pearl. And then it's obviously going to be the big ones of Patrick's house, Squidward's house, and SpongeBob's house with all the characters. So I hope you will come along to that and see those videos come out next. But thank you so much. If you liked this video, I would so appreciate a subscribe and a like. And thank you so much for coming along. I will see you in the next one, okay? Bye-bye!